Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's continuing education. And today is the 18th day of March already. We're halfway through March. It's like, man, this year is starting to fly by so fast already. I don't know about you, but for me it is. So today, this continuing education is about a product called TerraShield. TerraShield is our insect or our outdoor blend, and it is for those pesky little bugs that we get during the spring and summer months. And it's very safe for everybody to use, but it's more than just an outdoor blend or a bug repellent. And so this is what we're going to talk about today. So thank you for joining me, and my name is Diana Hinkle, for those of you that do not know me. And I appreciate you being on the call, and for those that are going to be listening to the replay, thank you for that. And if you ever have any anything to add, I always look forward to having some more information on what you're doing with essential oils too. Now, last week we were talking about, I said that I would talk about the TerraShield because it is that time of year, because I'm sitting on my porch and it's like barely spring. Officially is not spring yet, and I'm Western Washington, for those of you that don't know that. And so we've been pretty cold, more than normal, and so we've been below average. Now all of a sudden we're above average. I don't know why the up and down, but one day, and I'm sitting out there and all of a sudden I've got flies around me. It's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? They don't take much time to get going. So I thought it would be very good to talk about TerraShield, because TerraShield is a whole lot more than just that bug repellent. So TerraShield in itself is a blend with a bunch of different oils in them. You have Lang Lang, you have your carrier, it's already mixed with a carrier oil like coconut, fractionated coconut oil. You also have, in fact, I'm going to try my best to read these because they're really small, and I don't have my book in front of me where I could read it easier for you. But Lang Lang, and it's spelled Y-L-A-N-G twice. So Lang Lang is a flower that's really good for calming. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. And then you also have Tamanu seed oil. You have no, I'm trying to read these and it's really difficult. Nuka oil, cedarwood oil, and there's a bunch of other oils. There's a vanilla extract in here too, and they don't tell us every little oil that's in essential oil that's in here because it's a trade secret. So they don't tell you, but there's like 11 different essential oils in this particular bottle. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with essential oils, I always teach about doTERRA essential oils because that's my choice of an essential oil use. I love the company's integrity of the product, and they're certified pure therapeutic grade, which is CPTG. That means that it meets a standard of quality within the company, and that's super important for me because I not only use these for myself and my family, but I also use these on my animal friends, and I want to make sure that I have something that's safe. Now, essential oils, you really got to educate yourself on how to use essential oils, because one drop goes a very long way, and so more doesn't necessarily mean better. And you have to make sure that you have an essential oil that you trust, know where it's coming from, who are you getting it from, and what is the company like? Are they really diligent about not adulterating their essential oils? Because there's a lot of them out there that say on the bottle it's 100%, but they have additives to them. And some of those additives can be very toxic to not only you, but they can be toxic to us. So that's really important to know and understand that essential oils are not all made the same. So really trust the source of where you're getting them. talk to people, learn more, because that's the important part. So like if you use a citrus oil, you don't want to go out in the sun because you will burn. So there's things to understand about essential oils that you've got to educate yourself. So I really encourage that education. So this is my education on using the essential oils, because that's a model that doTERRA chose to do, and it's important so that everybody knows how to use their essential oils properly. And so with that, we're not here to treat, we're not here to cure, we're not here to diagnose anything. All I'm here to do is to give you some ideas and some information and let you make choices, because there's a lot of essential oils out there that are good, but I choose doTERRA for specific reasons. And so I hope that you will do your research as well. So back to TerraShield, those pesky little gnats like we have in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know what you have, but everywhere you go, there's different little pests, right? Well, TerraShield in itself, which this is what it looks like, it comes two ways. It comes in a bottle. I don't have the bottle, but it comes in a 15 ml bottle, or it comes in this 10 ml spray bottle, or actually it's a 30 ml, I think. Yeah, sorry, 30 ml. And you can just spray it on you. There's no chemicals in this, so it's safe to use on your pets, and it's safe to use on your little ones. And so that's very important for me to know, that I can use something and it not be toxic to somebody. For your animals, like your dogs, especially during the summertime, you can actually squirt a little bit of this or apply the oil on the paw on the foot when they go outside. So that not only helps eliminate those pests, but it also helps eliminate the ticks. So if you live in an area where you have ticks, this is a good alternative to use for your animals that go outside. Or you, because I don't care who you are, you should spray yourself down if you're going out into the woods, because everybody has ticks, and ticks are not a good thing when they attach themselves to you. Because if you have issues, those issues from like Lyme's disease does not show up until way later, and it can be deadly, and it's very neurologically, Lyme's disease makes you a mess. I know many that have had to learn how to walk again, and other issues. So keep that in mind, that when you're going out and you're walking in the woods, always spray yourself with something. Put something on you to repel those pesky things like the ticks. Now, I heard a testimony yesterday, or actually another idea with TerraShield that I didn't know about. So when we start looking at the different oils that are in the ones that they tell us about, like Lang Lang. Lang Lang is very calming, okay? So it has that fragrance to help calm you from if you have that overwhelming feeling. But it also is something that's useful for those that are being bullied. So if you know someone that is being bullied at school or somewhere, if they apply TerraShield just a little behind the ears, it really makes a difference. So in this case, I wish they'd come in here. I have a couple of ladies in here with me, and they were telling me this story that they had someone try this on their son who was being bullied really bad at school. When they applied the TerraShield, it was like they just completely ignored him. They never bothered him. And then one day when they forgot to put the TerraShield on him, they weren't as bad as they were initially prior to all that, but they recognized him. But when they had the TerraShield on, it was like this, like he had this bubble around him, and that they couldn't touch him, like he was invisible almost. And so that totally made a difference. And that son was like, we're never going to forget to put the TerraShield on. So we become a diffuser for that energy that surrounds us and others. What is making them not feel so rotten or feel that they have to be picking on people, right? And so we become that diffuser that creates that and protects us on that energy. And I know some of you think that, oh, energy work, that's voodoo, but really it's not. So when you start looking into the emotional side of using essential oils, that's where you start understanding a little bit more about that. And so in this case, essential oil, this particular blend, and we'll go through this, and I'm gonna read you what it says on the emotional level of TerraShield, because it does have the eucalyptus in there, it does have lemon, and it also has the citronella. So of course the citronella, we all know, helps with those insects. But what it helps support, and if we have the negative emotions of being unprotected, so if you're being bullied, then you feel like you're unprotected, right? Because you need something to protect you, or someone to protect you from being bullied. And then you've got, or attack, you know, defenseless, okay? Like your boundaries, like if you put up a fence and someone broke your fence, that's what it would feel like, that those negative emotions, that someone invaded your territory, they invaded your bubble, okay? So what TerraShield's going to do is help bring back those positive emotion of that, which is that the courage to look at it and to battle that, right? To stand up for yourself. It's also very, you know, like your boundaries are stronger that way. So instead of you feeling like they've broken your bubble and come into your space, now they're just going to kind of walk around there and leave that space alone and let you have your territory. So this is the part that I really like and love about essential oils, because we forget to look at the emotional side of the essential oils. And then think about it as what else is in the blend, especially from doTERRA or any company, or it's what is in the blend. What can that specific oil in the blend do for me? So we know that Lang Lang is very calming. Lang Lang also is in a lot of perfumes because it's an aphrodisiac. But it's a very calming, soothing fragrance, and that's why it's so many perfumes have that in there, but those are synthetic. They're not the true thing. So when we use an essential oil, it is from the plant matter, because that is what essential oils are, is the extract of the essential life of that plant matter. So the oils within that plant matter, whether it's grass, seeds, bark, roots, flowers, it comes from everything. And so that's where you look at the emotional part of that. And if we have people that are the bully, they have emotional problems. Because a lot of us don't look at that. We think, oh, they're just so mean, right? Well, they probably have issues. And what's their home life like? What is, you know, who is bullying them? Because it's a learned trait usually. So we have to think about that. So TerraShield is really good for that. Now, another thing with TerraShield, we know that it can repel the insects, but if you add helichrysum and lavender to the mix, now you have a really good sunscreen. Now, how would you do that? You wouldn't do that with the spray bottle. You would have to get the bottle of essential oil, and it's probably one of our least expensive essential oils that we have. And if you are blending that with the helichrysum and the lavender, it makes a really good sunscreen. Plus, it's helping keep the bugs off of you, which is another good aspect of that, right? So that's another way. Another thing is, it's also like we talked about the healthy boundaries, but when you are looking at my. Another way of using this is you can add it as a polish to your wood. And you can use like 4 drops of fractionated coconut oil and a drop of your essential oil. And then that way you can use it, you can apply it to wood as a polisher. It helps preserve that wood. And another thing is if you use it outside, if you have some tables, the outdoor tables, you can actually spray some of your outdoor tables, and which will also help in keeping the bugs away if you're outside. Another thing is diffusing the TerraShield outside. Instead of having the citronella candles and things like that, this is something you can do on a natural scale, and it will help keep those pesky insects away. And it's something that is also very calming to you, and it's something that smells good, because I don't necessarily like citronella itself. So that is something that I tend to stay away from. And I don't know about you, but that's what I do. So diffusing is really good. So diffusing is simply in a diffuser. If you're familiar with a humidifier, that's similar to a diffuser, but a diffuser is like an ultrasonic bath. It vibrates, and you put your essential oil in that water bath, and then it's like an evaporation process, but it's not hot or anything like that. But when you are diffusing essential oils, they also help clean up the air, the pathogens in the air. That's what essential oils get to do for you. So it doesn't just give you a nice aroma, it actually is a benefit to you. And it also helps, TerraShield also helps with cellular support. So on a cellular level, so all of us have our cells, right? If we didn't have any cells, we have white cells, we have red cells, we have all these cells, right? If we didn't have them, we'd be dead. So I'm glad you're here because you're not dead. So applying it to the pulse points. Now, what are the pulse points? The wrist is one of those, okay? You can apply it to the back of your neck if you'd like, but it is very healthy for supporting our cells from destruction. So it helps promote the functionality of your cells in a healthy way. And we all know that lemon, well, maybe you don't know, but lemon is very good as a detoxifier for our organs, specifically our liver and our gallbladder. So it's not just something to add to our water because we like the flavor, which you can, but in this case, you have that lemon in there. So when you apply anything on you topically, it actually soaks into your skin within 30 seconds. And so now you have something that's supporting your overall body, not just repelling insects. And now you have more benefits. Eucalyptus is another one that also helps support the function of our cells and our body. And so when you look at all the different components of the product, of the blend, then you go into all these other modalities that it gets to help you with, or the functions that it helps you with. And lavender, if you mixed it with the lavender and you're using it as a sunscreen, lavender is very calming. Lavender is really good for burn. So if you've been out in the sun too long and you do get that redness, you can apply just lavender. Lavender is really good to help that subdermal layer of your skin to stop burning. We see it on the very top, but what about underneath that you can't see? And lavender will help in promoting the healing process and keep you from, it actually helps it for that it doesn't hurt you so much, because when you get yourself burned, it's really bad. So, and it stings, especially like you put water. So how many of you know that, or have heard that when you get a burn, you put it underneath water, cold water, right? Well, it kind of helps, but it only helps the surface. It doesn't help the sub layers underneath. Lavender actually soaks in there, and if you use it with the coconut oil, a fraction, or any carrier oil, it's actually going to stay in the area you want it to more or longer. Okay, you use it just by itself, then it's going to, it will get into the entire body no matter how you use it. But if you want to keep it confined a little bit longer to the little area that you want it at, then use it with a carrier oil. That can be fractionated coconut oil, it can be jojoba oil, it can be sweet almond oil, it can be vegetable oil, whatever you've got, right? Every oil is different. So some oils soak into your skin very good, and then others don't. So keep that in mind as well. If you don't want to feel greasy, then use fractionated coconut oil. That's our favorite because there's no fragrance to it, and it soaks into the skin. So that's something to consider. I think everybody should have lavender in their kitchen. I've burned myself many, many times in the past. I've had third-degree burns. And if you ever do get a third-degree burn, or even whatever kind of burn, whatever, 1, 2, 3 or more, add the lavender. It really helps in reducing the, if you get a third-degree burn, it won't bubble as much. You won't get the fluids. It'll help prevent those fluids, so you won't have all that. And even if you do instantly get that bubble, that nice fluid under the skin, use your lavender. And helichrysum is another one that has many benefits too. Helichrysum is from a flower, but helichrysum is one of those that not only helps with pain, it helps with regeneration of bone, it helps with muscle support. It's an overall good essential oil. So TerraShield, keep that in mind when you are wanting to go outdoors. I ride horses, and so this is something that I take with me all the time because it's easy to take, for one thing. It's in a plastic bottle, so I don't have to worry about glass. I don't have to worry about lugging some big thing around. And if I want to reapply, I can reapply, and I can reapply it not only to me, but for my horses. And I actually will I will make my own bug spray for my animals, like my horses, because that fly spray, and I will add a full bottle, or actually not a full bottle, but about a half a bottle of the TerraShield, along with some other oils like thyme, bergamot. I forget what my recipe is because I have it wrote down at home. But those are oils that I actually put together because they give other benefits as well as a bug repellent. They also give support for the digestive system. They also give support for the immune system because that's what thyme is for. And then the bergamot, that is something for not only for calming, but it's good digestive support. So I'm giving them a lot of benefits. So when I'm spraying them down with my bug repellent spray, it's not just a spray for flies. They get a lot of other benefits along with that. So in my book, that saves me a lot of money, and it also helps keep my horse calm, especially if you have one of those that gets really hyper when you put them in the horse trailer. But just the TerraShield alone can also do that. Spray it in their mane. Let them smell that, right? Because it has that lang-lang in there, which is very calming. And it can be calming to the horse as well. And so, I'm not sure if I had a lock on the door. So, there you go. So, TerraShield, think about that the next time that you go outdoors. If you go on a hike, you're anything outdoors, think about TerraShield, the outdoor blend. And for those of you that like saving money, because that's what I like to do, you can be a wholesale customer and get the same discounts I do. There's no obligation one way or the other. You do not have to order every month. You do not have to have a certain amount every month. This is about learning how to live a lifestyle change in incorporating essential oils and other modalities into your wellness and your lifestyle. So make sure you're getting that rest, make sure you're getting up and exercising and getting the right things and eating correctly, and so that you are healthier. Lots of modalities out there. So I encourage you to find, if someone shared the video with you, ask them about being a Hosa customer. Super simple, super easy, and no obligations except that you get to save money and we get the same discount. And I like that. So you guys have a wonderful day. And is there any questions before I leave? Nope. Okay. So I will see you next Monday, and we'll see what new and exciting things we have to offer or to find out about, right? Because I am in San Diego at Leadership this week, which starts today, and I'm excited to find out what we're going to have coming up. So I see you next week, same place, same time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Daylight Time now, I guess. I don't like the time change. That's I never have. So you guys take care, and we will see you next week. Bye, Amanda.